One of the things, Walter, I like to pass on to people, especially those who are trying to learn, what your hands do, so feels the heart, and the head delivers it up unto the supernatural. This gives you reason and purpose to do the things you're here to do.
The hands, the heart, and the supernatural. 3 things that Jack McKey has used for his entire life to create tools, weapons, and clothing using only raw materials and Native American techniques.
Jack McKey grew up on the coastal plains of Georgia. It was here that he developed an appreciation for archaic technology.
About 9 or 10 when I got my first 55-pound draw weight bow, and I could string it and shoot it.
Eventually, Jack would use this bow to make his first kill.
Old man Joe Rudd's cow. And I got in a lot of trouble for it too. We packed a lot of milk to that old woman's house on our bicycles every day for a long time.
Jack's ill-behaved nature would eventually settle down, but his style of doing things on his own would not.
A canoe, and that's what I wound up doing. I got it finished before camp was over with. Got in it, paddled it back to the dock. Mr. Dobson was standing up there, who owned the camp, was talking to a parent, and I kind of just pulled up to the dock, and he looked at me and looked at that canoe. He said, "Boy, where have you been? We've been looking for you for a month." I was always in my bed at night doing head check, you know, but took it and hung it up in the mess hall with the first canoe that was ever used at that camp. It was hanging in there, and he hung this one up there with it.
That wouldn't be the last time that Jack would build a canoe either. In 1998, he was recruited to build canoes for a Ken Burns film. The film marked the bicentennial voyage of Lewis and Clark along with the Corps of Discovery from the city of St. Louis to the Pacific Ocean. The canoes were nearly exact replicas of the type that they used to travel this new terrain.
They started looking for somebody that could build the canoes that Lewis and Clark built right there in Orofino, Idaho. That's where Lewis and Clark and the Corps of Discovery stayed. The thing was, they only gave us 3 weeks to build the canoes. And I told them, I says, you can't build as many canoes as you're talking about in a month. But it wound up that we did. We actually built 30 of them in 3 weeks. I kind of oversaw that project, but it took a lot of work from a lot of people to get it done.
As a longtime fan, I couldn't help but to ask how it was to work with Ken Burns.
He wasn't there, but just, you know, for the filming part of it. You know how these people are. He wasn't there with the ads in his hand, believe me.
Shortly after the documentary ended, Jack was forced to make a tough decision: stay in the Pacific Northwest, which he had grown to love, or go back home to his roots where the weather was warmer and the living conditions easier.
I'd a lot rather be in the Northwest, but I was having problems. I was about to lose that hand. I couldn't afford to do that. I didn't want to lose all my work too. I ain't that old yet. And so we had to go somewhere. So I just went somewhere where I could walk outdoors when I wanted to. And that's worked out here, and I've got along better. So I'm here for the taking anyway, you know.
Today, Jack uses his time to teach the next generation the old-fashioned way of making things.
But it's the reason why that is so unique.
It only takes one generation to lose an entire culture, and we can't afford to do it. The knowledge has to go on. I'll teach anybody I can. Anybody that wants to listen, anybody that wants to do the work and learn, yes, I'll be glad to teach them.
And one of Jack's students has a unique perspective and a reason for visiting Jack's living classroom.
I just think it needs to be passed on and just kept around. It's a good thing to learn because you might need it one day. You might get caught in a survival situation, you might need to. And some people are going to be left out because they don't know how to do this. That's why I'm trying to learn and teach other people so we can pass it on some more.
The final word that I got from Jack is something that he told me over and over again.
The intrinsic worth of an individual is what he does right here, is with his two hands. And I don't mean sitting down there pecking out letters on a computer or sitting there watching games. You know, I'm one that don't even go watch football games because that's what it is. It's a game. It's play. And I've got more to do with my time.
And I don't see him slowing down anytime soon. So if you ever find yourself in Ocilla, Georgia, and you want to learn a new skill, don't be afraid to look Jack up. I'm Walter Murphy, on the road of the coastal plains of Georgia.